All right, party people. This your man Grill. Ooh, get my camera just right. Right angle. All right. Ain't that many cars out here today, but people are still driving a little wild. Don't know why. Tomorrow's the 4th, and people done took today off. Probably took half of yesterday off and 3/4 of the day before that. So they trying to get them, trying to sneaky tip and get them a daggone five day holiday out of this bad boy. But yeah. So what's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Headed out to a signing for 8 a.m. this morning. Get these people taken care of. Then I got 11 o'clock loan application. Then a 3 o'clock closing. That's about an hour and a half from me. I don't even know how to pronounce the daggone name of the city, but it's just north of an area called Waverly, Virginia, on a road called 460, going toward Petersburg, Virginia. So it's out there. It's an hour and a half drive for me, one way. So yes, I do those. And in this case, I'm getting compensated properly. So it's possible to get paid good and drive far. And that depends on the company, Yesterday, I was trying to do a video. I was trying to do a live, and I don't know, the daggone stuff was acting up. But what I was talking about, the title was, are you a W-2 business owner or a true entrepreneur? And I'm going to try to be very, very succinct with this, because y'all know I can get long-winded. The point that I was trying to make is I've noticed from the get-go, really from the beginning, and primarily listening to some of the TMCs that was out back in 2018, 2019, early 2020, that the way they trained us and the things that they was telling us we should do in order to get business had nothing to do with being a notary. It had everything to do with telling us to act like we are an escrow officer or a title officer or a settlement agent, all this kind of stuff. The closing agent that worked for the title company. In other words, it really was like, yeah, you're a business owner, but go in there as if you're going to work for them as their employee. And I never liked that. I was like, no, I'm trying to get away from the employee mindset, the employee vibe. How can I be a pure and true entrepreneur if everything that you're teaching me to do causes me to have to go back into that environment, just with a different label? And I've worked as an independent contractor in offices and stuff, and it was like, you just come in, do what you got to do and go. And you did not blend in with them. And it was known that I'm an independent contractor. I'm a temporary agent working here. And I am not one of y'all. And I don't have to act like one of y'all. I don't have to conduct myself like one of y'all. But what I noticed is that a lot of the trainers, that's what they was teaching. To go in there and act like you are part of the office staff. And I'm like, that ain't my goal, to be a part of the office staff in spirit or in truth. I was like, no. So that's why I came up with the thought process, or the phrase W-2 business owner, meaning you are W-2. You just happen to have a LLC, or you call yourself a business owner, but you really are operating as a W-2 employee when you're working in making sure I have my wallet, didn't feel it there for a second, with the people. And I'm like, that's not the way it's supposed to be. The title company operates as a separate entity from the lender. The lender operates separate from the title. The signing, same thing. Everybody else in the process, pest control, wood destroying report people, The real estate agent, everybody is operating as their independent entities. But when it comes to the notary, it's like, yeah, you're an independent contractor, but you're going to operate like you are one of our employees. And you're being taught that way. So here's my thought on this. I believe some of the trainers, not all of them, but some of them purposefully train us in this way because they don't teach you anything about being a notary. And I think they purposefully refuse to teach us notary stuff so that when we go into these title offices, we can be more prone to acquiesce to what they want, to submit to what the title wants us to do, as well as a signing company, because some of these people have created signing companies. So if you think about it, I'm a trainer who also teaches people how to have a signing company, but I'm training notaries to basically be servants to the signing company and to the title company. That's what I'm doing. I'm teaching them to get business by telling the company, I will submit to what you want me to do. Now, the problem is that some of the title companies, as well as the signing companies, ask us to do stuff that is outside the scope of our notarial laws. But you don't know your notarial law, so you have no choice but to submit to it because you're thinking that they're looking out for my best interest. The trainer looked out for my best interest by telling me to do these things. Wow, I meet a company that wants me to do those things. So everything is good. Oh, they're going to make sure that I do things. No, they're going to make sure you do what they need to be done so that they can get what they need, which is that thing closed. The problem is if your notarizations are not in line with what your state wants, it could all fall apart if somebody does an audit. That's the thing. Somebody can actually audit it because all it takes is for somebody to say, hey, I thought y'all met 3 days ago, and I remember y'all saying something about this had to be re-signed. So why, when it got re-signed, it's dated for back then and not currently? All it takes is for somebody to realize that something isn't right. It doesn't pass the smell test, and everybody's in trouble, and including the notary. So when I look at, I'm like, y'all teaching us to just be employees. We're business owners, but you really are telling us to function as if we are employees. And people get all excited because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be making all this money. Here's all these things you need to do so you can get more money from them. And I'm like, but the more that you want me to do is not legal and it's not a part of my job as a notary. Well, that's why you're a signing agent. But I'm a notary first. And that's where I've always said, then I need 2 separate contracts. I need a contract for me to operate as a notary. And then when I come back to your office, a separate contract to operate as your gopher or whoever you want me to be when it comes to doing admin work. I should not be doing admin work as a notary. That is not what I got hired to do. If you want me to do admin work, then give me a separate contract at a separate price point. Let's negotiate that. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Because if you want to keep things correct, then let's do it correct. Because the notary is an impartial witness. You hire me for that. Because the thing is, would you just hire me off the street to come in there and sort your documents for you? Would you just hire me off the street to come in there and file stuff and to print stuff and to make copies of things and to go take it to the post office? No, you wouldn't. You're only bringing me in there because of my notary commission. But then you're asking me once I'm in, hey, can you also, and I'm like, I thought you wanted me to do the notary, and I did my notary stuff, and everything was done right with that, correct? Yeah. Oh, no, the loan closing documents are perfect. Exactly what we want. These going to get executed with no problem. All right, well, I'll see y'all later. Bye. No. No, I mean, stay a little while. And Look at them papers over there and see where they go at. You paying me extra for that? Well, I mean, I can. Okay, let's get a separate contract for me to operate as this office person you want. Oh, nah, I don't want to do that. You see what I'm saying? Let's do things right and exact. If I'm going to be an independent contractor, be an independent contractor. Or if you want me to be an employee, then treat me as an employee, pay me properly, get me my health care, all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I was meaning by when I say, and you probably heard me say this, that you're a W-2 business owner. You're nothing but you're just owning in there operating as an employee. The difference is that you're not on their direct payroll as an employee. You just operate that way. You just function that way. But they got you listed as an independent contractor. And I'm like, nah. So that's why a lot of these trainers will not teach you proper notarizations, because to teach you proper notarization, and if they got connections in the signing company realm or title company realm, and they know that their buddies in those realms want notaries to just be quiet and do what they say, to be mindless robots in some cases, I can't teach you proper notary law. Because if you learn proper notary law, anything that they tell you to do that is outside of that scope, you're not going to do, and it's going to make me, the trainer, look bad. Me, the coach, me, the mentor, look bad. It's going to make me look bad because I was like, hey, yeah, Griff, he'll come in there and do the stuff. I trained him properly like you wanted me to. I trained him the way y'all wanted me to. And then I come in there with the knowledge of the law, the notary laws. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. No, this is what I'm doing. Nope, we got to date it for today. We're not backdating it. No, we're not predating it. You're being difficult. No, I'm doing things right. Well, you know what? We're not going to use you no more. That is what has happened to me. That is what has happened to many of you. If that's happened to you, where you're where you're doing the thing correctly by law, and then all of a sudden you stop getting calls because you won't do what they want you to do, and you know what they want you to do is wrong. And in some cases, you know it's wrong just in your gut. You're like, I don't think that's right. I don't know for sure because I'm new at this. That's what we're dealing with in this business. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. And this is about control, about trying to keep control over the notary. There's an entity that everybody wants to control, and it's the notary. The lender, the title, the signing wants to control what the notary does and does not do. And that's where the problem is. And that's why many of us are frustrated. And then the bad part is that people then, they get frustrated with that, and then they turn into trainers. And the very thing that they're frustrated about and don't like about the business, they come out and start teaching. And they teach you to do what they won't do. They still don't teach you notary law because they never learned notary law, but they figure I'll teach you and you go put up with it and I'll just get paid from you and I'll make my money that way and then I won't have to deal with it. And now you're frustrated and then you say, well, bump it, I'm going to be a trainer. And then those people you train get frustrated and they say, well, I'm going to be a trainer. And everybody wants to be a trainer. Everybody wants to be a coach. Everybody wants a mentor. And at no point in time is anybody being taught properly how to be a notary. Oh, well, you got to figure that out before you come to me. I mean, I'm just here to help you have a notary business and be 6-figure and 8-figure and expand your reach. Okay, well, can you teach me how to do the notarization properly? Understand? Well, you need to figure that out on your own. And in some cases, now you got the NNA acting the same way. More concerned about you explaining documents and guiding people through documents than following your state law. And that's a crying shame they're doing that and teaching that when they know doggone well more than likely about 48 out of the 50 states, if not 40, if not all of them, require you to even have proper training or specialized training in that realm, and nobody's training that they're doing out here from the NNA or from these TMCs qualifies for proper training in that state for you to even do any of the stuff they're teaching you to do. That's where the problem comes in at. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. That's what I was trying to do a video on yesterday. Basically, don't be a W-2 business owner. Be an actual pure, true entrepreneur and go out here and do this thing the right way. If more of us do it the right way, that would help change the industry. People have to accept the truth. The truth is, this is what notaries are about. This is what we're supposed to do. And we have no one but ourselves to blame if we sit there and bend to the will of these people who are asking us to do things incorrectly. We are the ones at fault, because the courts is going to look and say, hey, you're a grown person. I don't care what they told you to do, but here's what you know you're supposed to have done, and you didn't do it. And not only that, we got digital proof that you watched Griff's video where he told you this, and you still went and did your own thing. Talk to y'all later. Peace.